Good morning. In this video, we will analyze a very important topic discussed in the column Kerala economy. The column Kerala economy, it is the link to the column Kerala economy is attached below this video. The videos in both English and Malayalam giving introduction to the column is also attached. We are talking about cooperative sector, especially the banking sector. The need to update and engage cooperative banking sector to create a Kerala, to construct a Kerala which is economically self-reliant, with a farmer-friendly, industry-friendly nature, is discussed in another video, and that video is also attached along with this video. There we talked purely on the economic sense, where we talked about where we discussed the lack of pragmatism, the lack of application in the structure of the financial scenario in Kerala, where people are reluctant to take entrepreneurship as a profession. People are they don't find any motivation in being a farmer, and Kerala, very disappointingly, very tragically, still remain a consumer state. And we discussed the issue in that aspect, where how can we make a cooperative sector a lot more friendly, lot more constructive, because how can we use these loans, the financial system in the cooperative sector, which is quite inherent in the cooperative sector, very democratically inherent in the cooperative sector, for the betterment of for the creation of what we told before, a self-reliant economy, self-reliant society. But here we are discussing a more we are discussing an issue that is a lot more political and a lot more constitutional in nature. Because the recent crisis, or the unveiling of the crisis, the chaos suppressed inside the cooperative sector in Kerala has created a very fluid economic scenario, a very fluid social scenario. This cooperative sector in Kerala is one of the most efficient and the most democratic. It is one of the most vibrant social constitutional tool of Kerala, and it is arguably one of the best in the world in terms of participation and productivity. And when a cooperative system, especially cooperative banking system, is transparent and productive and highly democratic, it paves way for a very efficient and free economic progress. Free economic progress in the sense that it is very participatory in nature, where people feel that if they have the stuff, there is an authority to help us financially. That kind of confidence, that kind of trust is what makes a cooperative sector one of the most celebrated social tool. It's a social tool because it is these kind of tools, it is these kind of constitutional inventions that makes the West, especially Europe, one of the most progressive societies in the world. Despite the toxic colonial legacy they carry, the racial superiority they still nurse. It is these kind of democratic initiatives they created, they spread, maybe for selfish reasons, but they inculcated in the colonies that has created a kind of development in many of these colonies. And Kerala is one of the most able promoter of this cooperative system. And it is a symbol of a democratic society. It's a symbol of a society taking care of the lowest strata of society. It's about people, it's about daily wage laborers, it's about people who usually don't have access to the national banks. Right now the scenario has changed. And such a cooperative system, such a cooperative sector, it's all about transparency, and it's all about accessibility. The recent issues in the cooperative sector where it's a kind of robbery that has been unveiled. You could argue that it might be political in nature, but even if it is, what was unearthed from this so-called political excavation stays true, and it talks itself. It talks for itself. It is very true and it's very genuine. The facts. It's a brutal murder of a social system that has created an egalitarian society. And this cooperative sector, these cooperative banks, like this Kudumbashrees and all these social initiatives, is one of the pillars of Kerala's social progress. Because social progress is all about inclusiveness. And this cooperative banking system is about inclusiveness, where it's credit, it's free flow of credit for the betterment of society. And when that becomes narrow, when that becomes a political post, the entire essence of cooperative sector, cooperative system gets vanished. So what is the remedy? When you talk about remedies, you reach another crisis. And that is where we are going to discuss the relevance of the constitutional posts of the governors, the presidents, the Logayuctas. And sadly, all these positions are under the scandal. It's a big constitutional initiative. It's a big constitutional wisdom that we created such posts. It is about, and just take the example of a post of a governor, the office of governor, not the post, the office of governor. It is one of the most brilliant depiction of democracy, because it is an office that gives the final consent, and it is an office that doesn't have an elected representative. You could find a contradiction, because an elected representative is the essence of democracy. That is not the case here. This non-elected representative of people represents the power of people. It makes sure that the elected government is a representative of people, and this representative is answerable to the public. You can see that the opposition in India or Kerala is very, very weak, and it lacks credibility. And when such a scenario happens, and when such a scenario comes, when such scenarios come, it will recur every now and then in all democratic societies and even in democracies. And when such things happen, the office of the Supreme Court, the office of the governors, they come to aid. You can't sense it, but it is a reality. It's a kind of cross check, where A decision by an elected representative or an elected government is cross-checked, it's verified. There might be the power of this office of governor is very limited, but still it's a kind of cross-check where the action taken by an elected representative, an elected government, is once again analyzed, and this analysis is very open, and it is for the public to see. So that is the essence of this office. It's the very same thing with the president. It's the very same thing with the post of law guy. But as always, when an elected government is non-democratic in nature, they kind of try to seize all these offices. The present conflict between the Kerala government and the Kerala Chief Minister is one such example. It was triggered by an incident where the left, the Youth Federation of the left tried to manhandle the Kerala government regarding the opinion on regarding his comments on 370 Article 370. Whatever it is, the entire fury started there, or rather then. That is where the issue starts. When governor represents the public, the conscience of the public, and when that post is political in nature, it becomes a political fight, something that is very undemocratic. But to be precise, to be frank, irrespective of the political favoritism, rather the political bias the Kerala government possesses, he still remains a very progressive and genuine person. And even if it is not, it is the same issue happening in Tamil Nadu. Even if it is not, even if his actions regarding his unwillingness to give consent to some of these bills signed by some of the bills passed by the elected government, you can see there is a lot of genuinity. At least there is lots of substance in the issues that the issues that he take up. And one such incident is the complete politicization of universities in Kerala, rather the higher level education in Kerala. You couldn't have, you can't expect the opposition in Kerala to take up the same issue in this velocity. The utter chaos in the universities. But due to arguably genuine and you could even call it rigid, the kind of stance that the governor has took has created a debate, has triggered a debate where people began to think, where people are beginning to think that the universities, even the recruitments in PSC is highly political in nature. There is lack of opposition, there is lack of debate, there is lack of argument, and the essence of constitution, the essence of democracy is completely getting submerged by a dictatorial government that is sort of hijacking the entire socio-cultural scenario in Canada. So, even if we disagree with the kind of stance that the governor is taking on his regarding the unwillingness to sign the bill, you can sense that the issues are very, very relevant, and these issues have to be addressed. So that is where the discussion starts. The need for these kind of constitutional bodies, especially in a democratic society, and especially when that democratic nature is getting eroded, and especially when the opposition is weak and dirty. You need to have these constitutional bodies, these constitutional concepts, these constitutional offices to remain intact. So we will take up the first debate. We will be forced to take up the first debate. It has to be taken up by the experts. The democratic credentials of such constitutional office. It's not an office. It's a kind of constitutional democratic concept where the power of people over the elected representatives, the elected government, is retained by the constitution and in the constitution. And governors, presidents, the Logayukas are one such example. When it becomes political appointments, that is where the issue starts. We have discussed in some other videos regarding the politicization of such posts, and how the civil servants and the Supreme Court judges are forbidden from taking up this kind of posts. These videos are attached below this video. But whatever it is, it triggered a kind of a fruitful democratic debate, and it created a kind of democratic awareness in us, where we will be thinking about the rights of public and the rights of such constitutional offices, and the need and significance and the sanctity of such constitutional positions. We need to have people who cross-check, and we need to have those people who cross-check remain neutral and transparent. So this is one solution. The first thing is an initiative to stop political appointments, and the second thing is, if the cooperative system in Kerala, especially the cooperative bank system in Kerala, comes under such an office, like how a governor is the chancellor of the university. You can, when such an initiative is taken, when a democratic office becomes the final authority in this cooperative banking system, you will be having a very democratic scenario there. There might be political conflict. There will be some political conflicts because the office of governor, Logayukas, still remain a political post. But when the decisions, the initiatives, the transfers, all these things happening in this cooperative sector needs the consent of governor, this becomes a very different scenario, where it's not a fluid scenario. It's about a democratic scenario where we will be thinking about too many things that we were supposed to constantly think, but we are not. The need for an unbiased recruitment system in the state level and in the national level and state level. The need of constitutional offices, and the need of these positions, the positions of governor, the need for these governors, Logayukas, to remain neutral and democratic. So we started the debate in the premise, in an ambience where we were talking about crisis. We were talking about unresolved issues, kind of Pandora's box. But at the end, when we near the end, we are talking about possibilities. Even if not about possibilities, we are talking about too many constitutional premises, too many constitutional options. And when you try to find a constitutional solutions to an issue that we encounter, it creates a different kind of ambience, because when we delve deep into it, we create answers, we create an awareness, or we gain an awareness where we become more empowered constitutionally. The law, the provisions in the Constitution, when we go deep into it, we realize that the public, the citizen, she is the most powerful, or they are the most powerful. When we realize our power, it becomes a whole different scenario. So, we are talking about constitutional solutions. We are talking about the awareness related to the constitutional positions. And we are talking about the power of the public. It's the power of the public, it's the power of the people. That is the issue. And a powerful citizen is one who is aware of her rights, her options, her choices, and how powerful she is when it comes to law, when it comes to options. And it's time to wield those options, make it a lot more transparent. Arif Hussein's, Pinarai's, they all come and go. But for the public, but for the citizen, but for the common man, it's about the power. It's about the power, and it is all about the power. And that power is the power that the Constitution has provided. And so we are talking about transparent democratic systems, and the cooperative sector is one such. It's a concept for an egalitarian society. And an egalitarian society is a powerful society. A powerful society is a socially progressive society. A socially progressive society is a scientifically progressive society. And when you are socially, scientifically, and economically empowered, we are a self-reliant economy. It's about self-reliance. And this self-reliance is a powerful citizen. Thank you.